Hello there, my name's Catherine and this is my channel So Much Sewing. This is a channel all about good old-fashioned home sewing. So if you are obsessed with sewing as I am, then I hope you'll stick around and see my video. And if you find during the video that you've been entertained in any way or you've learned something new, then I really would appreciate it if you would please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I really hope you'll come back and see me again. This video is all about the Joni shirt by Sew Liberated. I'll be putting pictures up here for you to have a look at as I'm talking, but I've got the sewing instructions down here and some notes that I've made, so I will be looking down. I hope it's not too distracting for you, but I obviously need to see what I'm talking about. So the Joni top comes in two views. There's the cropped view, which has a straight across hem at the bottom, and it has more of a traditional notched collar. It doesn't have a collar stand on it. I guess it's a camp collar, but it is more of a traditional sort of notched collar. And view B, which is the view that I made, is much longer. It's got shirt tail sort of shaping on the hemline. The back of the shirt is longer than the front, and it also has this rounded collar here. Now, to be perfectly honest, I wanted to make the longer shirt version, but I wanted to make it with the notched collar. But I didn't sort of realise, I printed out everything to do with view B, which is what this is, but of course the collars are interchangeable, and had I been more onto it, I would have actually printed collar A, which is the more traditional notched collar, and that's what I would have preferred. But you know, when it came down to it, I thought, oh, I've got everything printed out here. I'm not going to faff around and print off just the collar. So, you know, I made this rounded collar, and I'm happy with it. Because this is quite a sort of a, some might say a bit of a drab, kind of a grey, I didn't want the whole look of the shirt to be too dreary. So I did put this accent colour on it. This is a blue cotton, quite a medium weight blue cotton that I had in my stash, which I put, this actually is all the way down the inside facing of the shirt, and when you turn it back you just get a peep of the blue. And I've also put it on the tower placket here, on the sleeves. I originally did also have it, the blue, on this pocket here, but when the shirt was finished and I tried it on, I just thought that was a little bit too much. I think it's nicer just to have this small accent here and here. So you'll see by the pictures that it's got some really amazing shaping. If you remember, if you might have seen, you might not have seen, I made recently the Tilly and the Buttons Rosa shirt, and while I really liked the style, this sort of almost sort of Western cowboy type shirt style of that pattern, because it had all the princess seams in the front running through here, it just didn't, I felt it didn't suit my body shape, and so when I saw this Joni top, I was pretty excited because it's got all that fantastic shaping at the back that I love in the Tilly and the Buttons Rosa shirt, but the front doesn't have any, does it even have any darts? Yes, of course, it's got darts, but there's no princess seams, and it's a lot more sort of a figure skimming silhouette to it in the front. So I thought that would probably suit my body shape better. If you wanted to, you could do top stitching on that back yoke section up here. You could do top stitching along that back yoke, which hopefully you can see there, and also down these princess seams you could do some top stitching down there if you wanted to. I chose not to do that. My buttonholes all worked out quite well. My machine behaved really well. I think it did a nice job. I got so many done. I think I got just about all of them done on the front placket, and then it started playing up and one buttonhole just went and it was awful, so I had to unpick it, and I thought, no, I'm going to leave it. It was getting later at night anyway. It was probably time for dinner anyway, so I unpicked it and I left it. I thought, well, if my machine's starting to play up, it's behaved so well, I'll just let it settle down. I'll leave it till overnight and I'll go back the next day and finish it off. And sure enough, next day I went in, I sewed a practice buttonhole. It went fine, so I finished off the last button that I had to do on the front placket, and then I did these buttons here, so that worked out pretty well. The pattern goes from a size 0, which is a 79 centimetre bust or 31 inches, up to a 147 centimetre bust, which is 58.5 inches, and the hips go from 85 centimetres up to 155 centimetres, which is 33.5 inches up to 61 inches. So I think the size range there is fantastic. If you've seen my videos before, you know that I struggle with the lower part of me, finding clothing and finding the right fit for around this lower part of me. I don't like anything too firm fitting around there, and I did toy with grading out from the bust out to the hips, and I was this close to doing it, but then I really looked at the finished garment measurements and I realized that I just did not need to do that. For example, I made the size 18, so I'll start off doing centimeters, comparing the finished garment measurements to the body measurements. I'll start off with centimeters and then move on to inches so it doesn't get too confusing. Again, the bust for a size 18 is 107 centimeters. That's the body measurement. Well, the finished garment measurement is 116.5 centimeters. So that's, basically 9.5 centimeters ease across the bust. The waist body measurement is 93 centimeters and the finished garment measurement is 115 centimeters. So that is roomy. And the hips 114 centimeter body measurement and the finished hip measurement is 136 centimeters. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. That is fantastic. There is so much room in this top. There's so much ease. It's fabulous. So just covering the inches measurements, size 18, 42.5 inches in the bust, finished garment measurement 45 3/4 inches. The body measurement for the waist is 36.5 inches and the finished garment measurement is 45 1/4 inches. Hip body measurement for a size 18 is 45 inches and the finished hip is 53.5 inches. So you can see it's very roomy, very easy fitting. Here we go. I'll be putting other pictures in, of course, as we chat, but this is just a lovely fit as far as I'm concerned. Oh, excuse I've got my fake velvet lounging pants on. When you're doing videos, sometimes you just zhuzh up the top and the bottom gets left. So I've actually got my slippers on as well. But anyway, you probably don't need to see that. But so here, there's a lovely shape on the hem. It's all those lovely princess seams in the back. I just think this is a really nice fit and a really nice style, really easy wearing. As I said earlier, this shirt does have bust darts here and the amazing princess shaping in the back, along with great shaping in the body along the waist and on the side seams here. It has tower plackets on, I think that's what they're called, on the sleeves here. I am not very experienced making shirts, and I think this might have been the first time I made these tower plackets. They're probably not the best tower plackets that anybody has ever made, but I'm reasonably happy with them. One of them was absolutely diabolical, so I had to unpick that and redo it. I think it might have been this one. So I got that a little bit better, and then I got the process a little bit better on my second tower placket. So I'm happy with those. No one's going to notice too much. Like I say, this collar, I do not mind this collar. I'm happy with it. I would have preferred to have the notch collar, but that was my error. I like the way you can, you know, do a different coloured facing here if you wanted to. I've also got that blue on the under collar here. It doesn't talk you through this, but what I did is I understitched to the break point. I remembered seeing this technique from Karina on lifting pins and needles. She was doing a tutorial on the Metra Blazer from Love Notions, and where you've got a collar that flops open like this, you can understitch it in a way that you understitch so far on one side and then you understitch from the other side, from that point on the other side, and then that just helps the collar flop open naturally. Otherwise you might find it a little bit harder to get it to sit nicely. So I will link that video by Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles, because I watched that tutorial a long time ago when the Metra Blazer first came out, I think. And so it's just one of those things. Karina's got some amazing tutorials on her channel and instructional videos, and so you might not need them right then at the spot, but you store them away in the old memory banks, and they pop up when you come across something like this. When I saw, like I say, it doesn't talk about it in the, I'm pointing over here, the instructions are over there. It doesn't say in the instructions to do that, but I just remembered seeing that video and I thought, oh, well, that might actually enhance the way the collar sits on this, and I think it does. I think it's great. I don't know if you can see, I know that there's a little bit of a wrinkle here on both sides. I'm not quite sure how that has happened. I've tried steaming it out, but I've done something in the construction where the top is obviously a bit larger than the facing underneath, so I don't know what I've done there. I don't mind, it's fine. You finish this off with the burrito method on the inside, so it's all lovely and neat and enclosed. What else? It was a little bit strange actually. The instructions didn't seem to mention at all finishing off the front facing. So I don't know, well, I thought maybe they might have talked about it in detail on view A, and then because I was working on view B, they just didn't say go back and look at how you finish the facing. So I went back and had a look, and I don't even think I can see it on the instructions for view A. So I just came up with my own method, and what I did was when I got down to the bottom, sewed the front placket onto the body of the shirt, and then I just folded it back on itself and sewed it to here, and then turned it back inside out and hemmed it. So I think it's got quite a nice finish on it. But yeah, so I thought that was a bit odd. I don't know if anybody else has found that strange. But other than that, I found the instructions were, nice to follow, and I didn't really have too many troubles, apart from the tower placket here, but that's probably my inexperience with that rather than the instructions. Actually, the instructions were probably really good. They were very clear about where to place your interfacing, etc. Here's where they talk about where to place the interfacing for the cuff. Very clear instructions on what part of the cuff to iron the interfacing to. And same again for the split here, very clear instructions on where to place the interfacing, how far in to place it, and then how to turn it in on itself to make the split. So all in all, I am very happy with my Joni shirt by Sew Liberated. This fabric does not have a lot of drape to it, so it's a fairly sort of a stiff silhouette, but next time I make this, I'm going to make this in a much drapier fabric. Oh, in fact, I think I've got the perfect fabric in mind. I have this beautiful cotton. They called it a gauze, but the only gauze I've ever known has been quite a very open weave. But this is more densely woven than that. Sorry, it's been in my stash and it's all wrinkled. I've only just popped downstairs to grab it to show you. But this is one of the fabrics I was thinking I might make this up in the future. It's much more lightweight and drapier. And I have another fabric I thought of. This is very, very wrinkled because it's a viscose crepe, and we all know how viscose wrinkles. But look at this gorgeous, the colour is Kingfisher. I have showed it to you before. It's coming up a lot more of a vibrant blue on screen, but it's much more of a deeper sort of a sea jade, not jade, but a deeper sea green than it is showing on the screen at the moment. But of course this would be so drapey and gorgeous in this Joni top. I hope you enjoyed my chat about the Joni shirt or top from Sew Liberated. It's got an amazing size range. The instructions are good. The shape is, I mean, there's two quite distinct shapes there. So there's a view and option there for everybody. A cropped version with a straight across hem, or the longer version with the curved hemline. But it's got fantastic shaping in it. You can mix and match the collars. You can mix and match the lengths. There's a lot of variation in this. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks so much for spending some of your day with me, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.